It's all over. We've got a new heavyweight champion of the world. No one could hold them back. Out in the heat they tried, going strong. They gave us hands on track. When the world by hand meant to
Seven world champions, 6 Olympic gold medalists, 9 empire titles, and a host of boxing heroes. The Champions Arena, man against man. The ultimate test of strength, cunning, and courage. Join us now as we trace the path of boxing in South Africa from its birth up to our modern era of the fighters. The 31st of May, 1961. After many years of struggle, the Afrikaner's dream was realized and the Republic of South Africa came into being. Boxing in South Africa was in a slump, but it was all about to change as a tall, sinewy welterweight turned professional in March 1962. Willie Ludick electrified audiences with his lethal punching power, and his eagerness to turn every fight into a war made him one of the most exciting and popular fighters in South African boxing history.
Willie Ludick, as I say, was a tough, left-hander with little boxing skill, but the fans got their money's worth. Oh, he was a credit to the sport. In fact, he carried boxing for about 7 years. He was our main draw card.
Ludick won his first 4 fights in 9 rounds and took on Boerbul du Plessis for the national welterweight title in his 8th paid fight.
De gevecht duurt voort. Scheidsrechter en du Plessis' helpers maken einde daaraan.
The second round.
On November the 30th, 1963, he met Fraser Tawil, the youngest of the famous Tawil brothers, in the first of 6 encounters. Ludick won all the bouts in a rivalry which spanned 6 years. With the exception of the second, all were classic clashes of different styles. Tawil was a smooth boxer, quick on his feet and fast with his hands. It was usually Ludick's brutal punching power which pulled him through.
Met de laatste verpletterende linkerhakhout in de kin is Tawil zijn goot toetental uit. En die scheidsrechter begint tellen. Fraser Tawil het zijn man goed probeert staan, maar die groot applaus gaan aan die verwoede vechter van vereniging, Willie Ludick.
Late in 1964, Ludick gained international status when he knocked out 2 world-rated fighters in a space of less than 3 months and 4 rounds. His opponents were Ralph Dupas and Oscar Miranda.
Miranda manages to push his way out of trouble, but he's hurt. And as he momentarily drops his guard, Willie flashes over his left and Miranda drops for the full count. Willie Ludick jumps for joy at his 5th KO win in a year and passes another milestone on the road to a world title fight.
His next victim was the British champion Brian Curvis. Curvis did give him a tough fight, but lost on points. On August the 6th, 1966, Ludick met the champion of Europe, Frenchman Jean Josselin, in Johannesburg. At this stage, the world title was vacant, and the promoter, Dave Levine, tried hard to get the fight recognized as a world title bout. It was advertised as such and had the championship duration of 15 rounds.
Round 1, and neither boxer wastes any time in probing for his opponent's weaknesses. Josselin opens the score as he connects squarely with a perfectly timed right to the jaw, and the for-anything southpaw drops for a count of 8. The final round, and a lethal left from Ludick sends Josselin crashing to the canvas. Champion of the world, Willie!
The brutal fight was unfortunately never recognized as a world title bout, and the price Ludick paid for it was far too high. Such demands can be made on the human frame, but only once in a lifetime. Josselin met Curtis Coates 3 months later to determine the ownership of the world title. Coates won on points over 15 rounds. Johnny Wood in the striped shorts was an incredibly tough middleweight from the East Rand. He was virtually impervious to punishment and went the distance with Ludick 3 times in the next 9 months, enduring everything the vicious puncher could throw at him. Their third bout, on July the 29th, 1967, earned Ludick the national middleweight title. Ludick then took 2 successive points decisions over Carmelo Bossi, who'd just beaten Josselin for the European Championship.
Willie Ludick van Zuid-Afrika.
Still a contender for the world title, but past his best, Ludick finally got his official shot 2 years late, when he met Curtis Coates in April 1968 in Dallas, Texas. Ludick showed signs of the many battles he'd been through, and the fire which once burned so fiercely was beginning to dim. Shortly after his return to South Africa, Ludick lost his national welterweight title to Patrick Tawil, who was handled shrewdly by his cousins Allen and Morris.
Dus die einde van de harde gevecht en Patrick Tawil wen oortuigend met punten om Zuid-Afrika's nieuwe weltergewichtkampioen te worden.
Ludick continued to fight and scored victories over Terry McTeague and his perennial rival Fraser Tawil. After losing 2 bouts to the young up-and-coming Pirifuri, Ludick called it a day. So came the end of one of South Africa's most gallant and hardest-hitting fighters, Willie Ludick. The Steyns, Stoffel, Andries and Gert, rival the Tawils as the most successful fighting family to come out of South Africa. Though Vic's world title and Willie's draw with the world champion put Papa Mike's boys ahead of Andries' offspring. Stoffel Steyn, the eldest of the Steyn boys, showed exceptional potential in his early days as a professional.
Stoffel in wit skoene is al om die besoeker met zijn technische boksmethodes, wat McCormack laat raaien waar precies hij om in die kruid bevindt.
Stoffel won the national lightweight title from Bill Dollery in spectacular fashion and seemed destined for world honors.
Scheidsrechter Smith is het begin tel. Vastberaden Steyn in die linker en rechter een paar keer gezwaai en weer eens is Dollery mat toe. Het is duidelijk dat Dollery niet zo kon volhouden nie. Weer was hij op die planken en weer het hij gerust voor 8 tellings. Kijk naar daar die linkerface van hem. Een gevaarlijke ou wat voor Dollery dwars door die touwen slaan om op die perstafel te landen te komen. Niemand kon die scheidsrechter kwalijk nemen toen hij die gevecht stopzet niet. Stoffel Steyn is een waardige lichtgewichtkampioen.
Stoffel was prematurely matched with a highly rated American, Kenny Lane. Steyn started well, but as the fight progressed, he was systematically beaten by his more experienced opponent.
Scheidsrechter die gevecht tijdelijk stopzet.
Steyn suffered cut eyes and failed to come out for the 9th round. This defeat seemed to destroy his confidence, and he never realized his potential.
Een verstandige besluit, want zijn oog leek glad niet goed niet.
Andries Steyn Jr. in the light trunks was the supreme stylist in the family. A beautifully balanced boxer-puncher, the blonde, good-looking youngster must be rated among the best ever to grace the South African ring. At his peak, and unhampered by nagging injury, Andries Steyn was very nearly the complete boxer. Everything he did was done with effortless grace, and he was an accurate, punishing puncher. He won the national feather and junior lightweight titles over a period of 2 months, and held the national lightweight title an unprecedented 4 times. He lost only 7 of his 55 professional bouts, but frequent injuries and 2 premature retirements prevented him from reaching the top. He lost a non-title fight against Ken Buchanan, the world lightweight champion, in what was only his 2nd defeat in 7 years. His first, which he later avenged, was at the hands of future world champion Arnold Taylor. On October the 9th, 1972, Andries gave a flawless exhibition of cool, intelligent boxing, convincingly beating the former world featherweight champion Kuniaki Shibata on points. He then went on to beat the WBC junior lightweight champion Ricardo Arredondo in a non-title fight. He never capitalized on these victories, but continued to display his classic style in 3 national title defenses against the competent and aggressive Koki Ulifir, and in 2 fights against Norman Pangaman Sekapani.
Steyn is a very clever boxer. He doesn't panic even if he's in trouble. I think that's the department where he really handled me, because if I could see that the man was panicking, then I could press, but he was not panicking, even if he was in trouble, he didn't panic. So he make as if he's not in trouble. So he was a very, very good and clever boxer. You couldn't just easily tie him up.
Andries Steyn retired from the ring in 1979. At one point, it looked as if Gert, the youngest brother, would succeed where Stoffel and Andries had failed. He won the national welter and junior middleweight titles.
Steyn wat meer en dan loostrek. Prachtige rechter, voortdurend met de rechter opgevolgd wordt. En weer een rechter. En de ene weer van hem staan.
Despite all his talent, Gert became disillusioned with the ring and retired. Arnold Taylor wasn't one of fortune's favorites. He won the world title in one of the most brutal and dramatic fights in boxing history. But his was a triumph with the taste of ashes. He won the national lightweight title on the 12th of May, 1969. Then faced Robert Trott in an exhibition bout, which was distinguished by the fact that it was refereed by Rocky Marciano, the retired undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, then on a visit to South Africa. Taylor won the national featherweight title by outpointing Andries Steyn over 12 rounds. His first defense of this title was against the veteran and former Empire flyweight champion Dennis Adams. Adams had previously caused an upset by knocking Taylor out in one round. Taylor went on to claim the national bantamweight title by knocking out Mike Buttle in the 6th round, and in doing so, became a member of the select group of triple champions, and the first ever to accomplish the hat-trick in the incredible space of 7 months.
Making Arnold Taylor the winner on a technical knockout.
His achievements went virtually unnoticed by the public and media alike, and there was only mild interest when Johnny Famechon, the Australian holder of the world featherweight title, accepted terms to meet Taylor in a non-title fight in Johannesburg on April the 11th, 1970.
The crowd of 9,000 spectators give an appreciative hand to both challenger and champ as Johnny Famechon emerges a clear winner on points.
Realizing he was a prophet without honor in his own country, Taylor set off and established himself as a world-class fighter on a triumphant campaign of Australia. On his return to South Africa, he disposed of the above-average importations Hugo Poli and Evan Armstrong. Eventually, after months of negotiations by Reg Haswell, Romero Anaya, the WBA Bantamweight Champion, accepted an offer of $80,000 plus expenses from promoter Dave Levine to defend his championship against Taylor in Johannesburg. Taylor, on the left here, was always dedicated and followed one of the most strenuous training schedules ever devised for a South African fighter. The date was set for the 3rd of November, 1973.
He waited 18 years for another South African title fight, a world title fight in South Africa, and there's Arnold Taylor in a gold dressing gown, joined now by the world champion, the bantamweight champion Romeo Anaya, recognized by the World Boxing Association as top of the world. And a fine sporting gesture before the contest starts. Anaya presents the South African with a very handsomely decorated sombrero. Anaya at 53.45 kilograms, the challenger and a dual South African champion. Arnold Taylor, 53,10 kilograms. Into the ring, the promoter Dave Levine, and we're all ready for the start of round 1.
En die begin van die eerste ronde. Taylor in die lichte broekie en in die donker broekie is het Anaya. Dadelijk is Taylor wat vorentoe kom en hy stoot hom daar met 1, 2, 3 linkers. Anaya baie versigtig, linker in die gezicht. En die twee boksers in hierdie stadium is maar net daarop uit om mekaar deur te kyk. Taylor bietjie meer agressief daar met 'n regter swaai. Steeds hier in die eerste ronde.
Round 3 again. Now, down goes Taylor, the first knockdown of the fight. No serious damage done, and Taylor back in action. They're ready to mix it in the center again. Forward comes Taylor, and Anaya swings him away with a vicious left cross. Both fighters meeting in the center, giving blow for blow. Anaya hurt Taylor that time.
Taylor komt dan vorentoe met lang linkerhouden, maar Anaya prachtig in die moeilijkheid uit. Dadelijk zit weer Taylor wat vorentoe gaan. Taylor en hij slaat voor Anaya in die touwen vast en daar lei Anaya. Daar lei en daar is een verplichte telling wat hij moet voorwacht en Taylor staan in die neutrale hoek. En dan sê Anaya, hij is gereed om voor te gaan en dadelijk is Taylor weer daar met de combinatie houden. En Anaya moet uit die moeilijkheid proberen blij, anders gaan hij hier in de ronde weer staan nie. Taylor jaag hom vast in die touwen, slaan weer. En Anaya probeer die moeilijkheid blij, lijkt dan of hij toch herstel, maar in sy oë kan mens sien dat daar vrees is, want Taylor het hom geweldig hard geslaan. Dan is Taylor weer vorentoe, Anaya kom in die moeilijkheid, het beweeg weg van die los, maar Taylor druk hom vast, slaan hom weer, keer hom vast. En Anaya is die moeilijkheid, hij slaan daar naar Taylor, maar slaan mis en Taylor slaat hom weer in die touwen vast. En Anaya probeert uitkom, gaan hij recht kry, hij is weg daar zo, die komt Taylor vorentoe. En dan wacht ons vir hierdie einde van hierdie ronde, die afsterong
of change. Down goes Taylor. Early in the round, within 5 seconds, he's down. He's countered by Mr. Cristodolo. Why does Anaya not go back to the neutral corner? Anaya now leaning on the ropes. Off the ropes, says Mr. Cristodolo, and back into the neutral corner. And now the count is resumed. Taylor is groggy. Just look at those legs of his. Does he know where he is? He's at the Rod Stadium. He's back in the center of the ring. He's taking punishment. He's down again. Taylor in trouble. Those legs are rubbery. And wonders if he knows just where he is, only half aware of his predicament. It's round 8 of a 15-round contest, and the South African bantamweight and featherweight champion is up, and he fights on. It's now instinct. He's in trouble. Taylor in trouble, and Anaya is still pummering away. Anaya back to the center, looking for the chance to get in with a knockout blow. Taylor is still on his feet. Look at the left. Now the right cross there from Anaya. Anaya is hurting his man with every blow. Taylor clings to everything he knows to stay in the fight, to survive the round. His trainer, Pat Jackson, is desperate. Look at the way his legs almost collapsed under him there. Anaya is punishing him. He's really showing what a world champion he is. And Taylor still manages to get in with a left and a right. And another right cross from Taylor. This has been Anaya's round all the way. Taylor down and down and down again. And still somehow fighting.
En meneer Dave Levine kyk na die begin van die 9de ronde, gaan hy kyk na nog 'n ronde of is dit die einde van die geveg, en dit is Taylor wat wonderbaarlik herstel het en vorentoe kom vir Anaya teen die toue vasdruk. Taylor nou heeltemal herstel. Kom hy weer vorentoe en is Anaya wat in die toue vasgedruk word en hy word gepeper met lyf en kop houe deur Arnold Taylor. Taylor wat 'n wêreldkampioenskapstitel hier voor hom sien in die persoon van 'n Mexikaan met die naam van Romeo Anaya. As hy hier wen vanaand, is hy die nuwe wêreld kapokgewigskampioen. Taylor peper vir Anaya. Anaya probeer in die moeilikheid kom, maar hy word in die hoek vasgedruk met daardie linker van hom, druk hy hom vas en slaan hom dan met die regter. Anaya weer teen die toue en Taylor wag vir hom en dan peper hy hom weer. En Anaya is in die moeilikheid. Anaya is in die moeilikheid en Taylor besef dit en daarom hou hy vol met sy aanval. Die Cristodolo beveel vir hulle breek en dan is dit weer Taylor wat vorentoe kom en Anaya wat in die toue dans probeer wegkom, probeer homself daarvan wegskiet, maar kry dit nie reg nie. Dit is die Suid-Afrikaner wat baie aggressief is en die Mexikaan baie seer maak.
Taylor is hurting him with every swing of right and left. Extraordinary fitness which enables a man to come back. It's round 10. Anaya's turn now to carry the action to his opponent. He knows that he must get another knockdown. He must weaken Taylor. In goes Anaya. He hurt Taylor that time. Anaya with those left hooks now. Advancing, closing in, trying to get within range to deliver another of those knockdown blows. There he is. A barrage of blows, and Taylor has gone down for another count.
En Anaya staan in die neutrale hoek en dit is Taylor wat vir die verpligte telling flanke toe is. Dan staan hy weer op. Kom hy weer vorentoe. Taylor met nou keer vir al wat hy werd is. Kom Anaya, slaan hom en Taylor ontwak skielik daar met 'n paar houtjies, Maar dit is niet baie seer gemaakt nie, en dit ook nie gelyk of daar baie krag in is nie. Naya weer vorentoe. Weer ene. Waar Taylor wat vorentoe kom, plant om met de rechter teen die kinnebak, maar Taylor met krampverlichter. Zwaai hoe hier naar die kop van Naya wat treft. En dan treft hij hem weer. En een Taylor wat vorentoe komt voor Naya teen die touwen vastdruk. Naya gebruikt die touwen, schiet prachtig daarvan weg. Maar dan wordt hij nu vastgekeerd door Taylor. Taylor wat vorentoe dans. Gaan hij nu een hoofdplant wat gaan seer maken, of is het Anaya wat uit die moeilijkheid gaan komen, Anaya uit die moeilijkheid uit, en dan slaan hij naar Taylor, maar slaan helemaal oor zijn kop, en dat treft niet. Nu is het Taylor wat aan die oorkant dan voor Anaya vastkeert weer in die touwen, en Anaya verdient bij een straf, maar Taylor wordt daar gewaarschuwd, en dat is die einde van daar, die ronde.
Round 14. Out comes Taylor. Puts Anaya against the ropes. Taylor now showing all that fierceness that we knew he was capable of. Anaya in trouble. Anaya weaving. Taylor comes in. A right. What's that right from Taylor? Taylor comes in and misses with the right. Taylor goes after his man. This is a vital one. It's 14. And Taylor is still there, very much in it. Taylor's been down, but he's determined now to get Anaya down. Perhaps it's Taylor's last chance. After his man. Taylor in again. Bettering up. Taylor looking for an opening. Anaya dominant. Down goes Anaya. Taylor's arms are up. The count is in. It's 7. It's 8. He's checking with the timekeeper. And Taylor is dancing about there. Excitedly, the crowd has gone wild. The champion is down. He's out. And South Africa, after 23.5 years, have again produced a world champion.
The significance of that fight was that, remember when Taylor went down in the 8th round? I mean, his legs weren't even carrying him and he was getting knocked down. He came back, and even when he was going down, he was throwing punches, and that as a result of his dedication to the sport that carried him through. Another significant part, even when eventually he threw that tremendous right hand and he put Anaya down for the count, he wouldn't go to the corner. I remember having got to 4, wherever it was, and he was walking and he was saying, he won't get up, he's down. I said, get back to that corner. Guy was out, of course, but you know, he got so psyched up, and it was such a dramatic moment for him because he was behind on points again in that round. And if I revert back to the 8th round, I mean, today, with the new rules and the new safety measures, if you knock down 3 times in a round, it's over. So it just shows you that if that fight had taken place today, the fans would have been robbed of one of the classic bantamweight fights of all time.
Taylor's championship reign was short and unhappy, marred by controversy and unwise decisions. After unimpressive non-title wins over Paul Ferreri and Guy Caudron, he lost his title to Soo Hwan Hong of Korea in a grueling 15-round battle in Durban. Briefly suspended on medical grounds, Taylor took on the British bantamweight John Mitchell in his first comeback fight. He fought with all his old aggression and once again tasted the elation of victory. Although he tried hard to make a meaningful comeback, the sun had set on one of the bravest of all South African fighters. After a few more fights, he retired and returned to his old trade as a pastry cook. A few years later, Arnold Taylor, not yet 40 years old, died in a road accident. But that night, November the 3rd, 1973, when Arnold Taylor's heart, as much as his fists, won the world bantamweight title, will never be forgotten.
Taylor looking for an opening. Anaya dominant. Down goes Anaya. Taylor's arms are up. The count is in. It's 7. It's 8. He's checking with the timekeeper. And Taylor is dancing about there. Excitedly, the crowd has gone wild. The champion is down. He's out.
In the next episode of The Fighters, 4 times world title challenger. And one of the bloodiest fights ever seen in the South African ring.